MuchMusic was this great place. You had these windows that opened up.
Yes.
Fans of music were coming down to see your band, not just see them, you could interact with them. That was the beauty of MuchMusic.
That's crazy.
When we opened those windows up, they were the show. The artists never saw anything like that. To be a fan of these acts and then interviewing them, it was like
crazy.
It was a constant pinch me moment. My boss calls me into her office. We don't need your services anymore.
Oh, no.
First time in my career where I felt I wasn't needed anymore.
For MuchMusic, did you plan to get into doing videos and like being on air?
It was a contest. Spent 2 weeks on my entry.
Oh, wow.
Helium balloons pulled out my scroll banner. I wanted to catch their attention of the MuchMusic brass, and apparently it did.
Yeah.
And that changed my life. My trajectory was changed. I don't ever take anything for granted because it could be all gone tomorrow.
Welcome to the You'll Never Make It podcast. This is Joseph DeBenedictis.
I make videos.
I'm Ross DeCitrillo, and I do audio.
And this is a podcast about trying to make it in the entertainment industry.
That's right.
As people mid-career, I'm trying to make it in video and content and TV shows if I can. And you?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it in music. We're trying to write a hit, worldwide hits, and we're just doing records and working with cool bands and trying to make the speakers move.
So today on the podcast, amazing special guest is Rick Campanelli.
That's right.
Who you might remember from MuchMusic as a VJ, was also learned about all the other things he did that I didn't realize up until now.
That's right.
He was on ET Canada for 12 years every afternoon on CHI-Fi 98.1 in Toronto. He's currently on breakfast television. That's just now.
Yeah. He's
But
done
like
a lot
in
of
between
crazy
those things I just mentioned, there's a lot of other stuff he's been doing, and just such a great guy.
Just a cool guy. Just
Yeah.
so positive, and the positivity is contagious.
Yeah.
I feel much happier after just talking to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He, as somebody who's like interviewed so many people who you know.
That's right.
like
Yeah, well,
bands,
everyone.
actors. Like it's unreal to really think about
Yeah.
the people he's interviewed.
I didn't realize quite the depth of it, and I started just talking about some of my favorite bands and going, like, oh yeah, when I talked to them, it was just that. Like, you talk, what?
Yeah.
You know,
You just
It's
forget.
crazy. Yeah,
He's
you don't
just-
realize because
no.
he's so chill about it.
Yeah.
You know, he's not like he's using that as a calling card or anything. Which
Yeah.
is,
I would.
I absolutely would exploit that to the nth degree.
Yeah. Right.
Uh,
So it's from the talks we had, he's had some interesting challenges at times of through the jobs, and you'll hear about that. And that it's just not taking things for granted, I think was a big message. And you'll hear all about how he's kind of had made his career and is still trying to make it, you know?
And staying positive through it.
And me, I was a big fan of MuchMusic. I think I watched MuchMusic and Comedy Network religiously when I was growing up.
Right.
So Rick was a very big influence on, I think, partly for my career in video and production and being on air on screen.
Right.
I met him a few times when I was younger. He was saying some moments that he's like pinch me moments of like when he interviewed some of his heroes. Similar to what I feel today, I think.
That's crazy.
Which is it's amazing.
I love it. I think he's just such a cool guy and a great conversation we had, and I think you're gonna love it.
I learned a lot, especially to just try to minimize worry and just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
It was the positivity coming out of him.
Yeah,
is
big time.
Infectious.
Let's get to it. Let's hear Rick Campanelli.
You got two cameras, three
cameras.
four
Four cameras.
Holy
We got
man.
one on you.
4 cameras,
One wide.
one cameraman though.
Jeez. Oh yeah,
One on me, one on
the
you.
others are robotics.
And
Yeah,
then we got Mark and engineering in there. You
man,
know?
this is a big production
It's
here.
cool. I know
We
that's what I mean.
tried.
It looks like
See, when we started this, it was just him and I sitting in here.
That's right.
He running back there.
One camera on him, one camera on you.
Yeah,
One
and
line.
two of the cameers were like, one was an iPhone, and halfway through they die. Everything died.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't have batteries for anything.
Right.
I love
But
it,
like this,
love
you
it.
know, I think part of what this podcast is about is this doing what you like and what you love. And for us, it was like, that was sort of easy to get to this because we have all the stuff already.
Oh yeah.
You got the studio, I got the cameras. I'm in the, so I
The
think
ideas.
Yeah. So exactly.
yeah.
So it was like, you don't, I think the sentiment was you don't need all this stuff to just start a podcast.
No, you don't. No,
Not at all.
no.
We just had it. It was
Yeah.
just what we had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could do this from your bedroom, it's almost more appealing.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
like, honestly,
People do it from their bedroom.
Well, a buddy of mine,
Sure. Yeah.
he's in this band I was working with, and they cut 3 records, and then all the members left except for 2 of them. And he was like, I don't know what to do with my life. He started a podcast. He did 100 episodes in like a month.
Good for him.
And he just had all the local people, and they were coming in, and they were just cheerleaders.
Yeah, man, that's great.
You know?
That's great, and that made him happy. I'm sure too.
He was so happy.
Yeah,
He was
Yeah.
not only was he happy, he was also like he was just like his mind because he's one of those OCD fellas. So
Yeah.
so his mind was not occupied by worry.
It's almost like life after a serious career. What do I do?
Yeah,
let's do a podcast. Let's talk and have fun and have a conversation.
Totally.
And
And
that
find
turns
out
out
about
to be-
people.
Exactly.
I love it.
But I
love
think a
it.
big difference is with ours is that like a lot of the time the people are still like we like to sort of showcase that someone's like you could say, hey, they have made it, but then you talk to them and you find out, well, they haven't quite done everything they want to do.
Everyone
yet.
still has dreams and
Yeah.
goals and things that they want to accomplish.
Exactly.
I don't think you're living life fully if you don't.
Yeah,
That's
right.
so true.
You
That's
can't
right.
be content with just where you're at. There's so much more.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are like that. Deep down.
You just literally came from TV. You're
I
doing
did.
TV, right?
I
For
did.
breakfast television.
television, yeah.
So what kind of stuff are you doing on there right now?
Oh, it's such a cool gig to do breakfast television, meeting different people every morning. And that's what
awesome.
I love. From day one, I loved meeting people. Like MuchMusic was this great place. 299 Queen Street West. You had these windows that opened up.
Yes.
Fans of music were coming down. And you were meeting people every day, different people that were loving the music,
Yeah.
what you're loving.
Right.
You're sharing those passions.
That's
So
right.
to talk music with those people, just to meet those people. Oh, I've come from Newfoundland. I've come from Victoria, but we all love music. And that's what I like about this BT gig, because I'm going out there to meet the people that are so passionate about what they're doing in their
Right.
own field.
You're learning new stuff every day.
And that's what I love. I
Yeah.
love being a student of everything. I'm not an expert in anything
Right.
at all. I know how to do certain things, but I'm still learning TV. I'm still learning. I don't know this game at all. Never been involved with
Neither
this.
do we.
Yeah, but you learn as you go, and that's the beauty of every career out there. You don't want to know everything because then you get a little, not I'm not gonna say jaded, but you get a little too comfortable in those surroundings.
Right.
You got to be on your toes. You got to have some butterflies still floating around there.
Yes.
I think the
that.
big thing that makes what you do great is that like you kind of approach it from the everyman scenario, right? Where you're saying you don't know 100% about everything. You want to learn. You
I
want to learn.
learn. I want to learn.
That's the coolest thing. And you kind of do that too. When you talk to people, you're like genuinely curious. You're like, well, tell me
Well, yeah,
why
tell
you
me
so,
more.
here's
Yeah.
why I'm passionate about it. Why are you?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Yeah.
that.
There's always lots to learn in one subject. You may know a lot, but there's still some other things that
Oh, yeah.
you don't know.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm so fortunate, to be still doing it. Like I'm 55 now.
That's
Wow.
insane.
I'm 55, and who
Doesn't
knew?
make
Like
sense.
I didn't know this was gonna last this long.
Yeah.
Right.
I was gonna be a teacher. Like
Yeah.
all my older siblings are teachers, and now they're starting to retire.
Oh,
And I
wow.
thought, okay, if this TV thing doesn't work out, I'll fall back. Maybe
a
do some
teacher.
teaching.
Right.
Love teaching kids. Love learning. But knock on wood, man, I'm getting busier now
Wow.
than I ever was.
That's crazy. So,
it's-
wow. First of all, to say that, like,
Yeah.
the fact that you're 55 is crazy because I look older than you. Like,
You do.
like,
You do look
no,
older
I
than
do.
him.
I do.
Maybe it's all that pizza.
Oh,
back
yeah,
on the
I gotta
pizza.
cut it back, but I can't. I love
your
it.
shirt
I
says
know.
cheese gravy. And like, sorry. Maybe that's why.
Oh, man.
Hey, your body's a temple, Joe. Your body's a temple.
It's a temple to store food. Yeah.
Look, they call those refrigerators. don't
Oh,
they?
right.
Remember
Yeah.
William Perry? They called him the refrigerator for a reason.
Yes.
The Chicago Bear.
Yes. So, all right.
Just joking.
No, I love it. It's
He
okay.
loves it.
This
That's
is my
okay.
life.
Hey, we're Italian.
I
We
would-
love food.
we
Don't
love
get me
food.
wrong. I love food too.
There we go.
Everything in
Yeah.
moderation.
Of course.
Keep
of
that
course,
one in mind too.
Of course.
It's another
I
good
don't know
one.
about that.
Words to live by.
I don't know
No.
about that. I like you got to have some access
Bring it
sometimes.
on.
Yeah, you gotta, sometimes like, we bonded over that. I remember when we first met, it was like, do you enjoy just like eating so much that you just like you feel like it's pleasure.
feel sick
Yeah,
in a
it's
few
like this
hours?
is great.
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
And then
Yeah.
we were like, you have that too. Okay, let's not
Yeah.
tell
But I
anybody.
think, being Italian, like you're trained to eat for hours.
You are. Well, because if you're not, Nona's gonna come over.
Yeah.
She's gonna. What do you do? You
Yeah.
don't like my cooking?
It's
right.
so true.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
gotta eat.
Yeah,
It's
you gotta eat.
disrespecting, right?
And even though she saw you eat it, she's like, "Oh, you didn't have any." You
And why
saw.
are Nona's always high pitched?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that? Hey, come on, Joe. You gotta eat more.
It's true.
Cats.
Oh my God, it's great.
God bless our Nonas.
God bless.
eh?
Oh, absolutely. Well,
I didn't really have that side. I was
right.
the English side was what sort of
Okay.
brought me up, right?
Yeah.
My dad's Italian side, we weren't as close with them.
Okay.
So I was, even though we're Italian, I got that occasionally, but
Yeah,
not
yeah.
to the level that, because I always laugh about this. I'm
you
always
got a
like,
little bit more munch of cake.
Yeah, it's
side
much
too.
more
So,
munch of
yeah,
cake.
We
Oh,
could say
way
that.
more.
Yeah,
So
100%.
It's a term of endearment.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Anything that
Munch.
takes the white man down is good.
Yeah.
no.
Anytime you do that.
You know you were Munchie King.
Half Italian, half British?
English,
English, British. Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's why you're so big in Britain.
England.
Yeah,
I guess
of
so,
course.
Yeah, I guess so.
Your
I don't
roots
like-
over there.
Yeah, it's nepotism.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
You're no good. No, I'm
yeah.
kidding.
But no, but that's nice to hear that.
Yeah.
That kind of like everybody had the same Italian
Oh
grandparents. That's
yeah,
Yeah,
really cool.
oh yeah.
very
That
similar.
generation, though, they were all alike.
Yeah,
they were
right.
all alike. Well, they were all taught that way from our great bisnonos.
Bisnonos, yeah.
Right.
Nonos and nonas.
Exactly.
It ran, but now this generation, ours, you guys know, we're not enforcing what they enforced.
No.
Right.
Oh,
It's
God.
totally different.
It's
Right.
very different. A lot of therapy.
He almost got a spit take. That was good.
Sorry.
That was
I'll
good.
never spit out my mouth. No.
That means it's funny.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. What-
So you started MuchMusic.
yes.
And that is so cool to me because so I'm a huge 90s music fan. That's a big, obviously like the
90s,
staples of 90s.
great decade for music.
Of course. Oh,
Great
unbelievable.
decade. I love the '80s too. Don't get me
Sure.
wrong.
Yeah. I'm a 70s
Slight-
guy.
slight-
That's my thing.
70s.
Yeah. But
You reek of
yeah,
70s.
thank
Yes.
you.
Look at
Thank
this.
you.
Beautiful.
I appreciate that.
Greg Allman right here.
Yeah.
Greg
Greg Allman.
the
right
dark
here.
haired Greg Allman. Yeah. But I'll tell you what
Great
though, like
music, man.
that's a great decade. But like there's something about the 90s, like again Nirvana, Bush, and
Pearl
Pearl Jam, and Stone Temple
Soundgarden.
Pilots,
Oh,
and then
that-
my favorite, the Black Crowes. Like
Dude.
I just can't.
What a movement that was,
Yeah.
though, in the early '90s with all those amazing bands,
Yeah.
so talented, still touring today, most of them
Yeah.
too.
And you got to be on the ground floor with a lot of these.
What an honor, man!
Tell
What
us
an honor.
about that.
Well, to be a fan of these acts, and then you're right on ground floor interviewing them.
Yeah,
it was like
crazy.
It was a constant pinch me moment.
Right.
I love music. I still love music. My thumb isn't on the pulse as it was back in the day. I'm older now.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of music out there, which is great. It's so overwhelming, I find. Back then, I knew everything about every genre, it felt like, because I was that invested.
Right.
I loved music.
You
I loved
explored
it.
the whole thing.
I explored all genres, hip hop and grunge and country and pop, whatever it was. But to be there and introduce the music videos, and then, okay, well, this band is actually coming into the Much environment next week. Green Day will be here live. Come on down.
crazy.
You can be part of it. You can ask your questions.
Right.
That's the cool part. That's
Yeah.
what I think was amazing.
It was-
being in and around GTA was like that. And every time I try to get there,
Did you?
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, just try. Like even when I was in the city, when I was actually of age to go out on my own, I always wanted to walk.
Which was
by.
what age, by the way?
Oh well, like yeah, normally I'm gonna tell you, like
11,
21.
12,
21. What do you want? Pretty much something like that.
Not these days. Kids are out 9, 10, 11.
I know,
They're
yeah.
wandering the streets.
It's hard. I was trying to
They
figure
grow
that out.
fast.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
scary.
But you could come down to
yeah.
see your band, not just see them, you could interact with them.
yeah.
That was the beauty of Much Music.
That's
man.
crazy.
We opened those windows up. People were the show.
Yeah.
It wasn't our show. It was
fan
it was
show.
everyone's show.
Right.
All music lovers.
Yeah.
And the artists love that.
Yeah.
The artists never saw anything like that.
Well, I think that
Oh,
is.
wow.
They love that.
I think that's really missing from right now. Like it's
We'll never see anything like that.
But I don't
again.
know why they couldn't. They like how can they not see that and go, well, that was amazing.
I know.
How could they not look back and go, this is great? Like for everyone,
No,
it's probably
you're right.
financially, it was probably great.
Oh,
And-
it was the heyday of
Yeah.
how to do it.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's so sad that they can't get it. They can't get that formula down.
Yeah.
Because there's so much out there these days. Oh, sorry. Whoa. That, so
What
sorry.
are you, sandbag?
That was a nice, smooth, like
It was beautiful.
drift over.
That's clean.
No
The
sandbags?
leg
Yeah,
was
what
in
do
the
we-
wrong place. Like we look good
that's-
from here up.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's the
anything
first
below
time that's
here,
ever happened. Yeah.
I'm not even wearing pants.
Yeah, you know what? I'll keep my foot on this.
No,
It's good.
no,
It's good.
no,
It was
yeah,
angled
yeah.
weird. That's good. No, it's good. It's good.
Well, that's the beauty of podcasts. You can wear,
Yeah.
you can go pantless.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
it.
But see, you're Italian because you're talking with your hands. You're smacking the
Sorry,
mic.
man.
Yeah.
But it is so hard to replicate the magic, because it was magic back in the
Yeah.
day. It was a magical time to see all that happen the way it did and unfold and roll out. It's just a different time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. People talk about doing it over again and creating it again, but it'll
It's
never
hard,
hit
yeah.
that height.
Yeah, it's got to be a reimagined version, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously,
and,
yeah.
and Much is doing that these
Yes.
days on TikTok and on social media. They're doing what they can in that domain there, and God bless them for continuing it,
Yeah.
because it's a legacy, and every Canadian will always know it was a staple. It was an institution.
Right.
You know, if you were into music and pop culture back in the day, that's,
Yeah.
that's what that place was.
Exactly.
People
And-
discovered bands
Yeah.
through you.
Yeah,
and that's what's
through-
crazy. Like they
through
would be a
Much, yeah.
fan of what you were doing there, and then they would go, "Oh, I'd never heard of these guys," and then they see it.
Right.
But because see, like again, this is what's so mind-boggling to me that they can't figure this out in the music industry. Is
More
that
bands
like,
now
well,
that need an
and-
outlet like
and
that.
that's it. But
Yeah.
it's more the fact that okay, so you were curating content that you people would know if we saw a band on your show that it would be great because you're not having lousy bands,
Well,
right? So you knew that it was
well, there were so many bands that were submitting videos. To
Right.
tell you the truth,
Right.
You're right. The majority of them never saw the light of day,
Right.
Because you don't have enough time in the day to play all
That's
those
right.
videos.
So you only play
Yeah.
the good stuff.
Yeah.
But like that's what they're doing in Europe. It sounds horrible to keep going back to that, but what they're doing there is they have promoters, much smaller, but promoters who the audience knows if I go see a show they're putting on, even if I don't know the band, it's going to be good because they wouldn't be here.
Right.
So over
Right,
there, you
right.
can go and make a career. Like that's kind of how we did. It was where you go over, you play for people that don't know you. And then,
They
but
get to learn about
because
you.
they see you from these places that they have a reputation. You go play there, and
Right,
then you actually do
right.
well. People go, I see, and then it builds. So they should do that here,
Yeah, yeah,
and it
it's so
starts
true.
with that world because
Well, they were doing it for the longest time back then.
yeah,
How it shifted over time, corporations getting involved,
right,
having their say more than what the fans should have been
right,
deciding on.
Right.
You know, it always should be the fans and the viewers watching
Absolutely.
who should dictate.
right, right.
obviously there was a change when internet, social media,
Mm.
you would start to see videos on YouTube first,
Yes.
right? That I remember
YouTube,
that
Vimeo, all those
very
services.
very
Yeah.
specifically. Like, oh, that's weird to see a music video.
Yeah,
remember
Joe,
that?
I remember that. Like, what are you doing playing videos? We play videos over
Yeah,
here. What are you?
right.
You're coming in our
Yeah, doesn't never catch up.
territory. Yeah, that'll fade away. That's never gonna last. Yeah, YouTube.
But I remember that being like, oh, that's weird. Like, what's Much Music? What are they like?
yeah,
Like, were you still at Much Music at that time?
I was.
Yeah.
Or was I? What was that?
I don't
Early
know.
aughts, right?
Yeah.
2004,
2005,
2006.
2006. Yeah, maybe.
I do remember my first YouTube video though. Charlie, bit your finger.
Yeah, yeah, one of the, yeah.
That was one of the. I remember that.
Original.
And then remember that one? That's-
Yes, of course.
And then, of course, Baby Shark came along and
Yeah,
just
right.
crushed it all. But you're right; they were playing music videos on there, and why not? It was the world can see these videos.
Yes, of course.
On that one service.
Yeah,
Like you had to be in Canada to watch Much Music. You had to be
Yeah.
in the
Right.
States to watch MTV, or like there are affiliates around the world. But
Mm-hmm.
now you have YouTube, and all 8 billion human beings can be watching
yeah, right.
a commoner's video,
Right,
you know, or
right.
whatever. So
Sure.
that's why that took off.
That is interesting. That's a good point. But like to me, for the communities, if you had a Much Music in everywhere,
yeah.
that's
yeah.
obviously
the local
better.
feel,
Yeah.
community.
Because
Yeah,
like I think
yeah.
to me, music, like when I'm a fan of a band and I go see it with like one of my favorite bands, Rival Sons. You know those
yeah,
guys?
Rival Sons, yeah.
Have you interviewed them?
Never.
Wow,
No,
that they
I'd like
I
to,
love those
yeah.
guys.
It's finally this one you
finally
stumped on.
one, yeah.
Jesus. Every time.
But he
Oh,
knew
yeah,
about
yeah.
them though, which is good.
Oh,
knew-
Rival
yeah, yeah.
Sons, yeah.
So if
yeah.
like if when I go see them, like every time it's a religious experience. You go see
Yeah.
the show, but there's other people that are watching it with you who are also going, "What a wow!" You know?
yeah, jaw
And
drops.
There was
yeah.
we saw them play at the X here, and Jay was able to take a song down to just him singing, and the whole audience pin drop, and at the X. It was
band
unbelievable.
shell?
The band shell.
Wow,
Unbelievable. I Like,
wow.
who could do that? What
Yeah.
performer can do that?
Wow.
But
Could hear pin drop, eh?
yeah, and everyone around was in that same
In that
electrified moment.
Yeah, that's
So you don't get that on YouTube.
when that's
True.
created. That's true. You don't get that on those services.
Yeah.
You got to be there live
That's
to
right.
take it all in.
That's right.
That experience. Yeah. Oh, I love live music though, man. Like you, like I'd much prefer to go out and see the bands and the artists live. You know, I listen to their music at home or in the car or whatever, but to see them recreate what they're doing up on stage and then tweak it, alter this, change it up a bit that way,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
with parts that you're not really expecting them to tweak.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
but it's another world to be in, and I'll be doing that until the day I die.
Sure.
Live
Yeah.
music, man. Oh,
It's those jams that a band will throw in. and you're kind of
Yeah,
like, oh,
dude,
that's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Like, why didn't that make the record? That's
yeah,
awesome,
right.
you know?
Not enough time on the record.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or
Not
they
enough,
figured
not
it
enough
out.
money to pay for the budget for the recording
Yeah,
studio.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
Fair,
Or they figured it out on the road, and then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I already did it. You know?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for Much Music, did you plan to get into doing videos and like being on air and like, or is that like, how did that happen?
You know what, Joe's? It was a contest that I entered.
I did hear about. Yeah, okay.
I was watching Much since the day it started, 1984.
Wow. Okay.
You
that
guys
right?
were you guys
85?
I was not
around?
born. We weren't
even
Not
alive,
born,
yeah.
not born
A few
yet.
years
We're
later.
alive.
So 1984, they had a big party and they launched Much Music in downtown Toronto at Queen East, 99 Queen East.
different
down the way,
spot. Oh,
different
wow.
spot.
Okay.
Getty Lee was there.
Really?
Big names were
No
there.
way.
And then J.D. Roberts, John Roberts now, the newsman down in the States, and Christopher Ward jumped through a poster banner and they launched MuchMusic, 84. And they got me that day.
Right.
And I was hooked.
Really?
Because I was so into music. 80s and 90s were big for me. I was 14 and I was right into it.
Wow.
No
So I was attached right away. And then years later, as I watched it religiously over, hours and hours in a day, wasting a lot of time, not even worrying about my homework, just I want to watch the videos because they're so novel and they're so new. And Duran Duran's got a new video coming out. Oh, it was shot at Maple Leaf Gardens. I got to see that.
Yeah.
Right.
The Reflex or whatever. But I just got more into it as the days and the months and the years went by.
Right.
And then they had this contest. Well, you out there, you don't, you're watching us, but we want you to be a part of it. How cool is that now?
Yeah.
So you can get your foot in the door and you could be part of it. Oh, this was a dream come true for me. I was in university at that time. I was just graduating from phys ed in university, and they had this contest in 93, and I entered it.
Wow.
I didn't put much into my entry, not thinking, I was probably worried about final exams or whatever. I wasn't focused as much. So I sent it in. Obviously, I didn't win that year, but I vowed to myself the next year, if they bring this contest back again, the Temp contest to work at MuchMusic for the summer, I'm going to go all out.
Oh, wow.
And I did. I went all out. I spent 2 weeks on my entry. We had 25 words to explain to them and describe why we thought we would be the perfect person for the job.
25 words.
25 words, that's it.
That's less than a tweet.
Y-
tweet.
y- Yeah.
A tweet. That's what it is now, though. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Is it called an X now? What are you?
I don't
X?
know.
No,
You're this now.
It
that.
doesn't
Yeah.
make sense, but
Or
anyway.
as
think
the
that's
wrestler,
something
you're this
else.
now.
Yeah,
Over
right.
here.
That's
What
something else,
wrestler does that? But I knew with those 25 words, if you don't catch them, you're lost.
Every
'Cause
word means something.
it means something.
Yeah.
So what I did at the time, I incorporated some of the shows that were on MuchMusic at the time, and I incorporated that into my statement and put it on this huge banner that I made down in my parents' basement. I was supposed to be studying for my final exams, but I put my final exams on hold. This is my priority. I want MuchMusic. So I worked on this project, sent it in. My 25 words read, rather than wedging another summer on my fax, rather than wedging another summer on my fax. Oh, I forget.
Oh, no.
I'll get it. Rather than wasting another summer on my fax, wedging you guys, I feel obligated to help extend my power and buzz around your electric environment. Anyway, it sounds confusing now, years later, but 8 or 10 of those words were show names, title names.
Oh, I understand.
Electric from Electric Circus,
right.
Buzz Clip, Environment is what they called the studio. So I guess they thought that was clever.
Right.
And it was a huge banner that was like 50 yards long, half the size of a
You
CFO.
mail it in?
Well, and then I put it in a huge M-shaped box. I'm going to show you the picture after.
Oh, my God.
Helium balloons pulled out my scroll banner.
No way.
I wanted it to stand out. I
Oh,
wasn't going to
okay.
go back to 93. My audition for my entry had to stand out. I wanted to catch the attention of the
Wow.
MuchMusic brass, and apparently it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they liked it. No pictures, nothing like that.
Wow,
no
nothing.
video, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Just this banner and the 25 words.
And the helium balloons.
And the helium balloons. Thank you for
I'm
reminding me. Yeah.
picturing that. That's crazy.
I'm going to send you a picture. You can post the picture now, actually.
Yeah, here it is.
Here it is. Right there. It's in my dad's basement still in Hamilton. Yeah, you see how bad it looks? It's all damp,
The shriveled up balloons.
shriveled up balloons. There's still helium in those balloons.
on. Is
there
There's
really?
still a little bit of helium in those
That's
balloons.
so crazy.
I reopened it on the 30th anniversary last year. And there's still helium in those balloons.
unbelievable.
No, I didn't
Yeah,
suck the
yeah.
helium out because I didn't want to.
That's an ad for helium, I think. It'll last this long.
No, that's the new. Yeah.
But that's it, and that changed my life. My trajectory was changed, and my foot was in the door at MuchMusic. I now I'm not only in love with this place, watching it. I'm there. I'm a part of it. What do you need me to do? I'll do anything you need me to do.
Yeah.
What do you
That's
want?
for your Rick
I'll-
the Temp, right? Is that what
that was the Rick the
Rick
Temp era because it was the Temp contest. But I would have done anything they asked.
What was a temp?
Coffees.
That was like an intern, really. Right?
It was the intern for that summer.
Right,
Yeah. So it
right,
was only
right.
supposed to last for July and August.
I see.
And then I went back
And then you
home
hit
to
it, but
Hamilton.
then you
That
hit
was
it.
it. But then I went back. I would call them. Then the day I got home, September 1st. Okay, what else you got for me? I want to volunteer. What do you got? I'll free. I don't want to get paid. Just teach
Yeah,
me.
let me do. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And they took advantage of that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can you be here tomorrow morning at like 6 a.m.?
Sure.
Here, take this broom. We need to make
Everyone
this
who's
place
unpaid
neat.
on this podcast,
Well,
please don't take this for.
But I think that's important for people to be watching. You know, nothing is thrown in your lap ever. It's all that hard work that you have to put into it.
Totally.
And you have to volunteer and you have to lend your services and your work ethic. And then they see that.
That's right.
How much you want to be there. Then they'll start cutting you some checks.
Totally.
That's
Hopefully.
it.
Yeah.
That's obviously
That's-
worked.
That worked out for you. Yeah.
Well, it all worked out. They saw how dedicated and committed I was, and I still am. I just love doing TV. I learned on the spot because I'm a phys ed grad.
Yeah.
I learned on the spot, and I think TV, podcasts, radio, it's all about personality and communication, and being relatable and open and honest.
Yeah.
You know, with who you're talking to and
Yeah.
about, and that's what it is.
That's
I
great.
never went to school one day to learn about it. It's
happened.
in us.
I
you know?
love that.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. I think I told you before, like I'm an editor, but I never went to do an
Yeah.
editing class professionally. And
You loved it so much.
I just did it. Just
yeah.
made it work. Just
He was editing when I met you. You had already
edited
been
a
an
lot of
editor.
stuff.
Yeah,
oh
you
yeah,
were
I'm
an
already an editor. So,
So no
went to
classes,
no formal training.
teaching. You learn
Yeah.
because if you're that interested in something,
Yeah.
you're gonna delve into the whole world
Sure,
of it all.
exactly.
Yeah.
I went to be a guest speaker a couple years ago at TMU for an editing class.
The
and I'm-
school you went to.
Yeah, and I said to them, listen, I actually never took this class, but so you're going to be way ahead. You know?
Oh no, the teachers didn't like you saying that.
No, I said that.
Okay.
But I said no. But I think I would have benefited in some form for sure.
Sure.
But I just want to tell you that most of the thing that's going to make you successful is not just being here and you think you're going to make
Oh
it.
no!
right?
Oh
You-
no! That's half of it.
That's
if,
only
if,
yeah.
if half of it.
Exactly.
It's out there in the real world, learning all the tools of the trades. Yeah.
What they don't want you to know is that like in music, at least, I think a lot of people would be better off taking the money they'd spend on a school and buying gear and just doing it.
Just doing it,
failing
man.
at
I
making
totally
music.
agree with that. Back in the day, it wasn't much about that approach to it. It's that old school approach.
Yeah. it
Yeah.
was.
But
Buy your
that's-
tuition, go to school, learn what you can. These days, it's more hands-on. You got to be in that world if you want to learn about it.
Well, I think
I like that.
with like a recording studio specifically, it was really the only thing I really kind of know about that
Yeah.
kind of world. But like back then, it was you kind of did need to know how to run a tape machine. Like there
Sure.
wasn't like you can't just figure that out.
Oh, no,
Like,
no,
you
you
had to
gotta-
kind of like you had to learn. You go through the ranks and whatever.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
it's all computerized, so everything can be done in your bedroom.
Simplified.
So if you just
Yeah.
buy the gear, you just kind of you have to fail. You
YouTube
got to fail a
tutorials.
lot.
Yeah.
Just
Failing
really
is good.
fail a
You
lot.
got to fail.
We say fail is first attempt in learning, right?
I love that.
You do that a bunch, and then all of a sudden you're a master. You don't.
I
realize
love it. It's so true, though, Ross. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I failed so much in my time doing things,
Yeah.
but that you come back stronger and harder, and you learn more, and because you want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to fail again.
Right,
But then
right.
you fail again, and
do.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: so you made it at MuchMusic. You cracked the code. You figured out how to get
Yeah.
the temp thing.
Yeah.
Then you kept pushing it. Did you feel at that moment I made it, or is that a made it moment? Or?
Well, yeah, I guess in my views, I never really, I don't ever take anything for granted because it could be all gone tomorrow. Somebody else, everybody else wants what we do. You know, everyone wants to do it. It feels like that. So I never consider I've made it. I'm always practicing and testing things and working on things. And so after MuchMusic, it was 11 years and it was a long time. And I noticed it changing. So sure, I had made it to that level of being there for a long time and having that seniority, but there were still others waiting in the wings to take over. And I was okay with that too, because times have changed. It was a little different in terms of, as a large corporation now wanting more say in what we did on live TV. Whereas before it's like we got to come up with our own stick and we got to have fun and doing this and it was cool and people loved it, but now we're being told what to do. So I knew at that point my time was up there to start the next chapter, which was Entertainment Tonight Canada. They came knocking, and then I was in the process of leaving and auditioning for other networks, but then I was already back at entry level because it was a new gig, and it's a new world. It was more entertainment, and it was polished because of the granddaddy of them all, Entertainment Tonight in the U.S. with Mary Hart, and you had to be like that. So I'm very fortunate to be doing what I'm doing after so many years, and I still love every second of it. I'll never take any of it for granted. No regrets. I'm still learning. Not going to be making it until I'm 6 feet under. That's when I made it. When I meet my maker and I'm up in heaven, that's when I've made it.
Not
That's
Maker's Pizza though.
Maker's Pizza. Thank you for the pizza, by the way, Maker's Pizza, which we just had. But we didn't pay. We even tell him to say that.
No, we didn't.
It's fantastic. You're that good.
It's all Matty Matheson's fault.
That's right.
But when you
guru.
so you came back after you got the temp thing, you did the summer, and then you came back.
Yeah.
At a certain point, they gave you a contract, I imagine.
At some point, yes.
And
Because
at that point, did you think, I did it?
Yeah, that's a good point, Ross. You're right. Because you're finally there and you're signing your first contract in your career.
Sure.
It's true. Your parents are proud.
Yes.
Everyone's proud. Your family members, you work hard at it. You think, yeah, okay, this is the first step to making it or getting closer to making it. So for sure. I had just left university, so the world was... the world's your oyster when you leave post-secondary or high school, whatever. Everything's out there for you to do. Whatever you want to do.
You just finished graduated.
Good for you, AJ. That's great, man.
So,
Good.
I'm excited.
What school?
Same school.
Same
TMU,
one.
yeah.
So there you go. The world's your oyster, man.
There it is.
Let it happen. Whatever you want to do, make it happen.
I love that.
It's perseverance too. It takes, like we said earlier, it doesn't fall on your lap. Nothing's going to happen overnight, but you got to stick with it. And if you stick with something that you really love to do, you're not working a day in your life.
That's it. That's what we're here. I think the three of us are here doing that.
Yeah. And we're making
the
it work.
doing of it is great. It's the lead up to doing it that's tough.
Well, it's stressful.
Yeah.
It could be some pressure on it.
Totally.
And for sure.
But
for sure.
even in the music thing, like when you're on the road, 23 hours of the day you're doing. But when you're on 23 hours, you're like, this is great. But that 1 hour,
that 1 hour,
is like the greatest time of your life.
It's worth it. It makes it all worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's going to be that payoff at some point. You wouldn't want to put on those 23 hours and then have that next hour, that 24th, be the same.
That's right.
That payoff at the end.
I'll tell you a story. One time we played a show. We slugged all the gear, the thing, and we did the sound check. We're ready to go, and the show got rained out.
No.
So we didn't get to play the show, but we did all the work leading up to and then taking down from.
It's outdoors, obviously.
It's an outdoor show. That would be horrible if it rained in the indoor show. That would have really been probably more problems than just the
It could
guys.
happen. Cue the rain.
Yeah, guy with a
Not
hose.
in here.
Yeah,
Oh, God, that'd be bad.
Not here, no.
I think to the point you were saying is like you could have been like, I'm never going to win this contest. I'm not going to put it in for it.
You're right.
Like,
But
a lot of people do that though, right?
Yeah.
They just don't give themselves the chance.
I've got such a positive, optimistic outlook on everything. You ask my wife, it's like, who is this guy? And what is he on?
The kid's gonna sleep.
Like I'm too positive sometimes.
I love it.
I'm so optimistic. There's always a way.
Yeah.
There's always a way. It's like that commercial. Nothing's impossible. Is that
yeah.
Nike,
Is that Nike?
Adidas? Who's
Yes.
that? Yeah.
Something like that.
Nothing's impossible, man. You make it happen for yourself. There's ways.
Yeah.
But I know. Maybe I'm a little over the top when it comes to that.
No,
but
I love
But
it.
that's
I
a
think-
choice, though,
yeah.
isn't it? Like
Yeah.
you consciously
That's
go,
your-
I'm going to be positive about this.
But
a lot
I
of
think
people
that's-
don't do that. A
you're
lot of people
being-
go, I'm going to be.
Why be
negative.
negative? Why be negative, man? Why? I heard a line years ago when I was a kid. It takes more muscles in your face to frown
Yes,
than it
that's
does
right.
to smile.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear that one?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Like, smile. Like, look what it's doing to people. It's
Yeah.
contagious.
Yeah, it's very
Like, you're
contagious.
smiling now.
I can't stop.
You're
Yeah.
smiling.
It's so
How could
great.
you not smile
Yeah.
around this
I
guy? It's
know.
positive. I heard this one. You ever heard this one? It says worrying, which is similar to being angry,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Worrying is like running on a treadmill. It's a lot of work and doesn't get you anywhere.
That's so true, man.
It doesn't get you anywhere.
You know what? My mom, God rest her soul, she's been gone 10 years now, this coming August. But my mothers tend to worry.
Yep.
Yep.
My mom worried so much. And I did get a little bit of that in me at first, but you got to learn to just let the worries go.
Right.
Because you're right. Nothing you could do about it. It's out of your control. What's going to happen is going to happen.
Oh, I say this, but I don't practice it.
You don't practice it?
I'm worried right now.
No, man, no. I think you're so young still, maybe. That has a lot to do with it.
That's very nice
I think
to
as you
hear
get
that.
older and mature, that worry will drop by the wayside.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what happened for me anyway. I
Right.
don't know.
So you get the ET job.
Yes.
And you're there. How long was that for?
12 years.
That was longer
than much music.
See,
12
that's
seasons.
insane.
I know.
That's insane to you think about.
It went by like that.
Wow.
Yeah. And I had to wear suits all the time
yeah.
and nice Italian leather shoes. and I had to speak, like over pronunciate. I went down to the Mary Hart School of vocal lessons
really?
in LA because they didn't like my combat zone approach to things.
okay.
What
On
is
much
that?
music. Well, it was very fast,
I
like,
see.
off the cuff.
Yeah.
No, Rick, we got to slow you down. You got to enunciate.
Is that right?
Really?
You got to hold your hands like this. And they changed me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Crazy. But what do you think? Is that a better?
It was a bad thing.
It's bad.
Well, it was very bad because it wasn't me.
I
It
see.
wasn't really
I see.
me. It wasn't the true me.
Did you
So
find what?
I found a happy medium
did.
as I went. Yeah.
That's good.
But when you start things, you're listening to your, the people that are in charge, that are signing the checks and
Yep.
paying your bills. So you have to listen and do what they say. But I knew inside I wasn't being true to myself.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was helping out the show and being part of what they wanted as their image. You got to conform sometimes.
Totally.
But then you break out of that shell and you start saying, well, if I could be more me, we might be, attracting more people, and more people might be genuinely feeling what I'm feeling. So
Right, exactly. I feel like that's a good way to then have, because now you have a decent following on Instagram and all those places. Like that's where you are you. Like how did
you got to be you on Instagram.
yeah,
that's the
that's
real
right,
us.
yeah. And you're like,
or social.
How was that trend? Like, did you find it like you felt pressure to have that be a thing? Have the Instagram? Like
I did at
Yeah.
first. Yeah, I didn't, because I thought I was so bogged down with everything else that was going on in life. Like, okay, here's another thing now I
Yes,
got to
yes,
worry about.
sure.
So, but it's important, because you're reaching that another audience out there
Sure,
that
exactly.
may not know what you're doing. So for exposure, it's, as we all know, it's amazing. And now I just go into it like, sure, there's lots of brands partnerships, but I align myself to things that I'm really passionate about and believe in and love to talk about.
Yes.
And when you're talking about that stuff, it's
easy,
just
yeah.
the genuine realness just shines through.
Sure.
So I like doing that stuff.
Yes.
I like creating stuff. I've
Yeah.
always been creative,
Yep.
taking art in university, and I've always liked to express myself. So it does come in handy for social media.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and with ET, were you there? Like, did you leave before it ended?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We started in 2000. Well, I left much in 2005, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So 1994 to 2005, summer of 2005. Started ET September of 95 for TIFF.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was TIFF time. It was my
wow.
first TIFF. I'd never done a TIFF before.
crazy.
It was my first time doing it. And then in 2017, I go to work one day. My boss calls me into her office, and it's like, we don't need your services anymore.
Oh no.
It was a sucker punch out of
Really?
the heavens, man.
Really?
Wow.
I wasn't expecting it. It was an emotional time.
Oh my god.
And the first time in my career where I felt I wasn't needed anymore. So
damn.
I'm going to get a little emotional about it right now because
Yeah.
you work so hard and you think you're doing a good job making people happy. And then one day it's all taken away from you.
Yeah.
And it's scary. And I just lost my mom a couple of years prior, and my wife and I were in the process of moving from Toronto to Burlington, closer to my family home in Hamilton.
Right.
So all these major changes were going on. We just had our Harrison was born, my third son. He was a year and a bit.
Oh wow.
So there was a lot going on.
Did you lose your positivity at that point?
No, I
or
didn't actually. I didn't actually. No, because I felt it was a blessing
Right.
in disguise.
Right.
I got to spend all that time at home as Mr. Mom.
Right, right,
The
right.
Michael Keaton
Oh, that
movie,
kinda-
Mr.
oh,
Mom.
so it kinda
I was taking
worked.
care of the boys while my wife Angie was going she was working at CTV at City Line with the Marilyn Dennis show. She was going in every day. I was at home.
Wow.
And I'd never been that parent before.
Right.
Wow.
It was a blessing.
And it felt
That's
good.
great.
It
to
felt
kinda-
great.
Wow.
It felt great.
As my nonna would say, a blessing in disguise.
in disguise.
I'm like, I don't
Not-
think that's. It's not in
Something's lost
I
in
like that.
translation.
That's a nice way to look at it too,
She's-
though.
yeah, but-
It's a blessing falling from the skies.
from disguise, but no, disguise.
Disguise, yeah, yeah.
No, what's this word? It is. It
That's
sounds
nice,
like it
that's-
was.
yeah. coming back.
It
I like
works
that.
both ways, though. I like the way you're known.
Yeah, I think it's very nice. It is nice.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
So
that's what happened.
So how long were you there? Was the next thing you did?
So the next thing
What
I
was
did, I did a lot of freelance stuff and
Sure.
hosting, and then that's when the social media content creation really came alive, because now I don't have anyone saying, no, we're not giving you permission to brand partner with that company, because there was a lot of that. When you're with big corporations,
You can't. Yeah.
they got to give you the green light.
Right.
But
Don't
now
wear
that
this,
you're
don't talk about that.
Yeah, you're a freelancer now. You get to do whatever you want. That's what I loved about being a freelancer.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's rocky.
Of
You know,
course.
slow times,
Yeah.
busy times, but it's all you.
That's
Right.
it.
So that's what happened for a few years. And then a radio station reached out to me, Z1035
Oh, okay.
in Etobicoke.
Yes.
And, Tony Monaco. And,
Yes, of course.
And the legendary cast of characters over there. They said, do you want to do a morning show?
Oh, wow.
Holy man, morning show. Yeah, why not? Let's go. Let's do this. Let's
That's
try. I want to
amazing.
try everything. I'm not going to say no to any opportunity.
Sure.
So we tried it, and I felt after 13 months of getting up at 3:30 in the morning, I was just, it was too much for me.
That's
Yeah.
rough.
It was a lot, man. You're going to bed at 3:30.
Yes,
so
yes,
that
you
is-
are. Yeah.
A lot of the
But
time.
getting up, and that just got on me physically, and it was taking a toll on me, I felt. And I would get home from that shift, and I was a zombie.
Yeah.
I was walking around the house like I'm half asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get sleep all day. Your quality of life isn't the same. You're not seeing your family as much. You're not the same person.
Right.
So I had to, unfortunately, I had to say no to that gig.
So you said I can't do it
I
anymore.
can't do it anymore.
Oh, wow.
I
Well,
was
that's-
supposed to be there for 3 years.
That's
Oh, wow.
so that's like wow. That's
It was,
pretty tough. That's
it was a
decision.
tough decision to make, but I knew I had to make it for me personally, my physical, my mental, and
Yeah.
you got to make those decisions sometimes.
Sure.
Another door will open.
Yeah.
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 Doors open. Doors are always closing and opening.
That was
It's
recently,
life.
or that's
So that would have been 2021. That was during COVID.
Oh, wow.
oh,
So
interesting.
2021, 2022. I left just after the World Cup in Qatar.
Oh, okay.
Because
Oh,
I'd
wow.
taken my dad and my son to Qatar for the World
No
Cup.
way.
And I got back. I thought it was going to last a few more months, but then I just had to throw in the towel.
Is that right?
Okay.
And then I was back to the freelance world, and then CHFI, another legendary, iconic radio station in the city that's been going
Oh,
since
yeah.
the late 50s, called up and said, "We like your style. We like what you're doing. We hear you're not doing much these days. Would you like to do something?" And then they offered the afternoon drive
Yeah.
Wow.
show, 4 to 7.
What do you do on that show? What do
So I have a co-host. It's Brooksy
Okay.
and myself. Brooksy's the brains behind the operation. She works the boards.
Oh wow.
She does it all.
Right.
She's a brilliant radio person, and I'm so honored and grateful that I sit across from her
Right.
doing it. And we get people home.
Right.
After their busy days at work, they're in their car, in traffic, or they're already at home, and they want to listen to some familiar music.
I see.
They tune into CHFI and listen to
Crazy.
Rick Campanelli and Brooksy.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so
it's fun.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
a fun gig. It's a fun gig. And that's why I say I think I'm busier now than I've ever been, because I do some stuff in the morning, stuff through the day, stuff in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I do miss my family.
Yeah. It's a tough right now. Yeah, you're a busy guy.
It's and I say to my wife, Angie, we got to move back to Toronto, I think.
Oh,
Because everything's going on in Toronto.
Yeah.
We're not. She would,
No, you can't do
We're not
that.
moving back
Yeah.
to Toronto.
You're in Burlington now.
Burlington.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
right by you?
Yeah.
Burlington.
But he
Yeah,
gets up
we're-
so well, you got up early to get to the breakfast television this morning. So
Get
you
up
missed
early.
the traffic.
Yeah, I miss it. I
Or is
miss
it
a bit
still
of traffic.
bad? Is it still bad?
I'm on the road by like latest 6:30.
Okay,
It's,
okay.
it's pretty good. It's pretty
Okay.
good. What about you?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, I drove here. I left here at 7:30. It took me an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You leave at 7:30?
Well, I don't usually come
depends.
here.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
usually.
right.
I usually just work at home.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
edit at home and do other things. Like when we're doing
Best
this.
office ever.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? The biggest commute is the
I'd love
worries
to
up
have
the
down the
stairs. Yeah,
stairs.
that's it. It pulls
I'd
up
love to have
Miami.
this in my house. This would be
Oh,
fantastic.
yeah.
Imagine
Dude,
that.
get your bed over here.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't.
Yeah.
that room over there.
Yeah.
The vocal booth.
It's probably something.
take a nap.
Probably something we're overlooking.
No kids, right?
no
No
kids.
kid- oh my
Do
god.
it now while you can.
Yeah,
right,
Jesus.
yeah.
What are
I
you
don't know, I
doing?
feel
Once
like-
the babies come, man, you're going to be...
You've got to find a way to keep them separate, especially with this.
Yes, that's very
You know
true.
what I mean?
That is
Like,
a problem. I would like a place to go.
Because I started the studio in my parents' basement. That was how
Okay.
we started this whole thing.
Okay.
It's literally a before and after. It's crazy, right?
Right.
But like the
right.
whole time you're there, you're just like, man, I don't want to. Like I never enjoyed it in the basement.
Right. You want to get out.
It's always like, you want to go to a facility, and like especially when you're talking about working
Sure.
with bands, it's like bands
You
are
want
a
to
lot.
be...
You
Yeah.
don't want to have them in your house.
No. It's comfortable there, and you know
Yeah.
your way around, but you want to be in a professional space.
Yeah, exactly.
With bands. I get it.
It's easier
Yeah.
to kind of to be
Inspire them more, and
Yeah, and your job in terms of like giving them feedback, whatever, it's taken a lot differently when you're like, this is my place.
Yeah.
This is their studio.
You hear your parents upstairs
Yeah,
making
it's weird.
noise.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like, Mom,
You don't want
you
that.
gotta fucking
Keep it
record.
down.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It happens.
I would say
Gotta start somewhere.
yeah.
I'll tell you a
I
funny
would-
story. You want to hear it?
Go ahead.
I had a a leopard gecko when I was younger, like a little lizard, right?
Yeah,
You'd feed him
yeah.
crickets.
Yeah.
And his room was above the live floor, right? And the thing.
Oh, shit.
And a lot of time the crickets would get out of this cage and then you'd be recording and you just
You'd hear that?
in the recording you'd be like, there's a cricket in here, like I just ignore it. We'll get it out in post.
You kept it in the recording though, right?
Well, we
It's
tried to
all-
get rid of it.
It's all organic.
Yeah,
You know those bands? Keep it in, keep it in.
Yeah.
Did you hear that sound? Oh, keep it in,
Yeah.
keep it in.
It was imagine that in the podcast. You
Yeah.
got a podcast in the background with the crickets.
There's crickets?
Yeah,
That
that was
is
one of the funniest
brutal.
things. So that was like, okay, I was like, it's time to get out of here.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a sign. That's a sign.
Wow.
was
So yeah,
funny.
it sounds like you're. So it's funny when I like to just Google anyone's name who comes here just to see what it
Yeah.
says.
Oh, what does it say?
So it says good things.
Yeah, okay,
There's one
okay.
thing, it says suggested, what other people have searched.
Oh,
and one of the top one was, and which is so funny, is what is Rick Campanelli doing now?
Okay.
Like, so it's like,
know-
and the funny thing is you're saying you're busier than ever, which
Yeah.
is like, and a lot of people I think know you from MuchMusic, but like, what do you think about that?
I love that because you just brought up a great story. Like, people didn't know that I left MuchMusic to go to ET Canada.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Two totally different demographics
Different
right
audience,
there.
sure,
Different
totally.
audiences. So I would meet people 3 years later after leaving Much and being at ET. Like, so what are you up to these
Yeah,
days?
yeah.
I haven't seen you
Is that
around.
right?
Like, yeah, it was like
no crossover.
No.
Interesting.
Some people came over, but
Right.
it was two totally different things.
Interesting.
You know, if you were into the music, if you were a music head, you didn't tend to go to where I went to.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would, but we weren't breaking bands. We weren't doing all that stuff that we were doing at Much at ET. So I could see why people didn't want to follow. But that's what we got a lot of.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Like, you know, people are busy.
Yeah,
people are doing their own
exactly,
thing.
exactly.
Like they don't.
and they
you know.
didn't fall like if they're like for me, somebody who not only when I was growing up watching you, but then also now in the business, I'd like to follow people and like who I like and where they're
Yeah,
going. So
yeah,
I was
yeah.
aware. So
Keep
when
on
I hear,
top of-
so when I talk to people and they're like, "Oh yeah, I loved him. Like, what's he doing?" I'm like, "Well, he's doing so much right now. What do you mean?
What isn't he doing?
Yeah, what is it? Yeah,
He's
Jesus.
busier than we are.
So yeah, he's so busy. So I think that especially for me growing up when I was watching MuchMusic, when you were describing when you first watched it felt very much how I watched it when you were on.
Okay, got you.
I was like, oh, this is great. I want to be there.
Oh, dude.
But also inspired me to definitely be in the business, like as part of the inspiration of what I really.
Oh, that's nice.
thought
man.
You were doing music then too, though.
I was in
Don't
a band.
forget.
I like.
Oh, yeah?
I was in a band for sure, as like lead singer and all that. But also
Okay.
making videos and like doing skits and stuff like that before like YouTube
Oh,
was a
wow.
thing. Right.
So MuchMusic was a place for you.
It was a very important place. There's a few things that one I actually met you there once years ago. Like you were young and like I'm sure you met everybody. But I met through Scott Granville. Brought me in.
Scott Granville. Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh wow.
so he brought me in.
An
once.
editor as well.
Yeah,
for
editor.
CTV.
He had Direct Kick Soccer.
Direct Kick
He
Soccer,
had that
yeah,
on
of
air,
course.
which was because
Oh,
my dad
Scott.
owned soccer stores, and
Oh.
actually he ran. Oh my God, I just remember this. My dad ran something called Soccer Expo.
Yes.
It was a trade show for soccer people and fun
yeah.
things. And I saw you there. We talked there as well. I was like a
Yes.
10-year-old, 12-year-old kid.
No, your dad ran that.
He put it. It was
Great
his
job.
thing.
That's
Yeah,
his thing.
Yeah,
I
so
remember
before
Soccer
the time
Expo.
before soccer was a real.
Before TFC was
Way
in his,
before,
yeah.
yeah.
I
You guys
remember.
are long lost cousins.
Yeah,
right.
man,
I think
yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Bond over soccer.
Exactly.
And music.
And music, yeah. So I think, having seen you when you were behind the scenes, we were talking. I think it must be somewhere in a
picture
box.
or
There's
a-
like a postcard.
Yes.
You in a car.
Yes.
I think you signed
With a tattoo.
Yes.
Mama.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
My
have
long
it.
hair.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
I have it
man.
somewhere. I don't know
My
where it is.
first glossy postcard.
That's
in
so
the red
cool.
convertible.
So I got it.
Wow.
I got it.
Dude, you
You
have
should have
that?
brought
I have it.
I signed it
somewhere-
for you?
You did, yeah.
What did I sign it?
I don't remember.
What does it
I think it
say?
says Rick the Temp.
Rick the Temp. It
But
would have said Rick the Temp
yeah.
back then. Keep smiling.
I don't remember.
Have a great day. That's when you kind of think you've made it.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, they're
Right.
making postcards. They're selling postcards in the
Right.
store.
That's
You're
a
not
good
getting
moment.
a cut, but they're selling them.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That
yeah, that's
doesn't
okay.
matter.
It doesn't matter. It's
When
true.
you're still trying to make it,
Yeah,
that's
that's
cool.
true. That's true.
When you look
That's
back,
true.
you go,
Yeah.
man, why didn't I get a piece of that?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Now when you're older and have
when
a
you're
mortgage.
jaded and yeah.
I mean, they bought that? Really?
Oh, interesting. You didn't tell me that back
you
then.
didn't tell me that.
Yeah. You kept that from the records.
Yeah, right.
That's so crazy.
Break it from the
That's a
records.
good story. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
I
it is,
saw. I
yeah.
just remember this, especially the Soccer Expo one. That was very interesting.
Well, you were inspired with our generation of VJs. I was inspired with Steve Anthony and Erica M. and
Yeah.
Michael Williams and Christopher Ward, and all these VJs were inspiring me to do what they were doing,
Yeah.
giving me the idea. You know, you're not ever serious about it when you're a kid.
Right.
It's an idea, it's a dream.
Yep.
It's what you want. But then you get closer to fulfilling and accomplishing those goals, and you think, yeah, it could become reality.
Yep.
And then after winning that contest, of course, you just make it. I made it happen for myself. But I think all young Canadians who grew up watching MuchMusic have that connection.
Totally.
Right.
And especially if you were into music and if you wanted to be like, I want to do what that guy does.
Yes, exactly.
So
I think it was
those
a mix
people-
of pop culture,
Yeah.
and for me, video production,
Yeah.
and music,
true.
and like, so I loved it not only for being in like the know and like seeing you guys be on air and stuff, but also like behind the scenes, getting to go to the space and see
Yes,
the
how it's
studio.
all created. You would have been you would have worked there. If
I
you
would
were-
if
was-
totally.
If you had connections to
Yeah,
get in
my
there to
friend
edit and-
Justin Moy, who's half of the equipment here is his,
Yeah.
worked at CTV in the
Okay.
building for about 10 years.
Oh, wow. guys, when CTV took over.
Yeah, when CTV,
right,
so yeah.
right.
But
crazy.
I
anyways,
was long gone before CTV took over.
I know,
I don't
yes.
remember those days, but
But you went sports. That's like you could have gone.
I went
into
sports
music.
without trying to go sports.
Right,
It just
right.
kind of fell into it.
Yeah, right.
I was just like an
are
opportunity.
you an athlete? Are you a sports person?
I
wouldn't call him an athlete, I'll
I
tell you
still
that.
play.
You
I
play?
play all. I still play like pickup soccer in Burlington.
oh, you do?
know, I
Yeah.
hockey in Burlington. Like
Oh,
men's
great,
league.
great,
I play
great.
table tennis. Like very avid
Love
table tennis. Yeah.
man. We've got one in our basement.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, mine's folded up because it's a half a playroom now, so there's no space for my. It's my
kids.
desk and toys. So it's and then my poor.
Poor ping pong table.
It's been for five years.
Oh, you got it up, standing up
Standing up.
like Forrest Gump.
No,
styles.
no, not even that.
Okay, okay.
It's
Both
very-
sides are up.
Just,
both sides.
Yeah, it's just
Gotcha.
both sides are up in the corner.
Oh, that's sad.
It's okay. One day we'll get.
One
a
day I'll
space.
get it back down.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember the first track that you broke? Like that you were like I'm gonna announce that I'm gonna cover that. It must have been special.
I
to you,
I
right?
remember meeting Simple Plan at a show at the Opera House. They weren't performing. They were just fans of the band that was up on stage, and that band was Lit.
Oh, interesting.
My own worst enemy.
Yeah.
So Simple Plan were there. They'd come in to see Lit. I guess Lit were a huge inspirational band and influence on them. They said, "Hey, you're the guy on MuchMusic. Here, take our demo tape."
Oh, really?
Yes.
So they gave me their demo tape. And on
You
a
must have got
CD.
that a lot.
Got that a lot.
No
I got
way.
that a lot from a lot of bands. Not a lot of bands that went on to actually break and make it,
Sure.
but a lot. Of
course.
Cassette tapes even.
Yeah,
back
you're the
in
face
day.
of the guy who the
can-
station that breaks bands. Yeah.
Well, although we're a visual medium,
Right,
MuchMusic,
right, right.
and these are CDs and
Yeah.
tapes, so I can listen to it. But I said, you guys got to get out there and make music
Get a video.
videos. Go
Yeah.
out there and get a camera, make a video. We want to
Mm-hmm.
see you. That's how we could put you on. So, and I would tell them that all the time. So that was exciting.
And did you get them on at one point?
Then they came on.
They did?
Yeah. Then when they broke it
So
with
that's-
"I'm Just a Kid."
Yeah, right.
The first single.
And so that
they
was
were on.
was a lot to do with you
Well,
in a way.
I got the CD, listened to it. I passed it on to the powers that be
Right.
to listen to, because it's got to be good music to begin with.
Yeah, of course.
And then the good music video follows, right?
Right.
The music has to be the main part of it, and then of course the music video is just going to be just as great.
Right.
But yeah, I guess I helped because
Absolutely.
I wasn't going to put it under my bed. I was going to pass it along and
Yeah,
share
yeah, yeah.
this. Because it was really good,
Yeah.
as for
Well,
these young kids
even-
from Montreal, it was really good.
But even listening to it is already puts you in a league above
It does.
most people.
You feel special.
Because most people just go, whatever. And then
Right,
they don't check
right.
it out, right?
But I got so much of that along the way. I just love listening to all different types of artists and the different ways they create. It's all different in my mind. It really is all unique. I don't get much of that these days because
Right.
I'm long past that stage, but
Right.
I enjoyed that back in the day. I was honored actually
It's pretty-
that they were sharing and giving me their baby. This is their work that they've been creating for
Yeah.
a long time. They're trusting it with me.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. Did you play music at all or no?
In high school, I started with guitar.
Okay.
So I got my first guitar when I was in grade 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Just before going again. It was a great guitar. I don't know the name of it.
Very memorable.
Very black. You know where the story's going.
Right.
I couldn't get my little wrists around
Yes. Is
the
that right?
neck. I got little tiny hands. I'm a little guy.
Right.
So I couldn't grasp the whole. So honest to goodness, I took lessons for maybe 6 months. I said,
That's it.
I gotta get out of this.
Really?
So I bought drums.
Okay.
Okay.
I sold
Much
my
louder,
guitar. I
yeah.
bought drums,
Yeah.
and I moved those drums up to my parents' attic, and I was drumming away.
They
I was
must have been
banging.
thrilled.
Oh yeah,
When's he
the whole neighborhood
leaving?
could hear. Up in the attic, the door, windows open on something. I'm banging away. Why don't we get him a piano? Like he's banging away. I loved it. I was in my element. Again, it didn't really work. Okay, so then I thought, okay, let's sell the drums, sell the guitar. I'm gonna try to sing. I auditioned for my high school band.
That's awesome.
Room 42, not level 42. I love level 42. Mark Kingdom. Room 72.
That was
Okay.
the name.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're at this band. The singer was leaving. Something had happened. I was in grade 11 now. Rick, let's get you in here to practice. Let's see what you got. They put on U2's "I Will Follow." They start,
Yes.
they start jamming
Favorite.
to U2's "I Will."
Wow.
You know how hard it is to hit
Oh
those
my
Bono
God.
notes on "I Will Follow."
Yes.
Walk
It's
away,
hard.
walk away, walk away. I will follow.
It's very
a girl
hard.
tries hard to be a boy tries hard to be a man. The father takes him by his hand. It's a hard song.
hard song.
Why do you got to give me that song to audition to?
Yeah, it's
Give me
brutal.
something easier. Give me some Bruce Springsteen or something.
Yeah. Right.
So the parents of the bandmates were watching because the parents were invested too.
Right.
We're not just gonna let any schmuck come
Yeah,
and
right,
join the
of
band
course.
as the
That
lead
was-
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They sensed that I couldn't hit the notes for "I Will Follow"
Oh,
and
boy.
all down.
And
So
passed
then that was it for my music career.
Is that right?
That was it.
That was it after that audition.
Yeah.
I didn't even have one gig.
Is that
We
right?
didn't have one gig. Yeah.
But see, but that's kind of because to me, like if someone gave me a demo, okay, my instinct is to critique it for performance
help them
for
out.
things, right?
Yeah.
But like, so because you weren't like I guess actively in music, you would
Yeah.
get these things as a fan. You were on air and had the platform to be a fan.
Yes.
But from a perspective of power,
Yeah, of course.
that is
yeah.
awesome. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why you were so good at it because
Oh,
you
I
were able to
appreciate
be
that.
like, here's
I'm
my
still a
take.
fan,
Yeah.
and here's my take. And if I'm influencing anyone out there, the band sure loved it when
Totally.
we talked big about the band because if he likes it, I'm gonna check it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or if he says something about it, I'm still it piques my interest to check it out.
Totally.
But yeah, it was a cool position to be in. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Wow. That's awesome.
Maybe not me as compared to the others. I loved everything.
Yeah.
I thought everything was great stuff. And like you said earlier, like if it was making on to much, it had to be good.
Sure.
You know, we're just gonna put anything on there
Yeah, well, with the competition. It's
with the
like,
competition.
right?
Yeah.
But like the fact that you could curate it, like again, people were watching religiously
Yeah.
the show because they knew that it was going to be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you. Yeah.
That's a big.
yeah.
That's huge. Like I was saying to him earlier, like not that I didn't watch it that religiously, but like I was really into Zeppelin and like the '70s bands, and
Yeah.
they didn't have music videos.
Right.
So like
They weren't making music videos back
So
then.
when I was
yeah.
watching Much Music, I was seeing the stuff cooking, but I was very
Yeah.
much like I still love this stuff. you know?
Right,
So like the
right.
Crows would play, or the Nirvana, you see a video, or you see the Stone Temple Pilots,
Yeah.
Then I'd be watching.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But it was for me. It was if it was like the pop stuff coming on. I wasn't as interested.
You weren't into that as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wasn't.
And that
as
was the
religious.
beauty of Much because someone like you wouldn't be as interested in the pop stuff, but others
Yeah,
were big into that stuff.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was their time. But Much Music played it all.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
didn't shy away from any genre.
That's right.
We played every genre.
Yeah.
I think MTV got into some trouble early in their days because they weren't playing as much hip hop
Yeah. Right.
when
right.
they were coming.
Interesting.
They were being. People were noticing that.
Right.
I think David Bowie actually called out one of the VJs at the time. Like,
Really?
yeah, there's a clip of it if you
No
check
way.
it out. Like,
No.
like why aren't you playing black music like hip hop? Like
Right.
it's.
What year would that have been? Do you think?
Oh gosh, that was probably in the 80s.
Oh, is it
Late
long
80s,
before?
yeah.
Okay.
And Much was already playing
Right.
all the hip hop.
Did
and all
Much start around the same time as MTV? or was
MTV
it-
81,
Yeah.
Much 84.
Oh, so it was pretty
Wow.
quick.
Was it
3 years after.
Was it any relation, or was it just Much Music was its own thing?
Yeah, no, Much Music was his own thing. Moses Neimer was the brainchild behind it. They'd seen the success of
I
MTV.
see. Okay.
They thought, Canada needs something like that too, our
Right.
own.
Yeah.
You could
with our
still
own
watch
stamp.
MTV here.
You
still see
could,
it, right?
yeah,
the time
over the
you could,
years,
yeah.
and there was
So you-
MTV Canada for a while there
Yes.
too, and
So people were picking when watching MTV
Right,
or watching Much Music.
right,
And
yeah.
and people were liking the home.
the special thing about Much Music is that there was this CanCon
Right,
regulation,
right.
and not the majority, the percentage had to be Canadian.
It's like 30 or 40
Music videos,
Yeah.
director had to be Canadian, the band had to be Canadian,
Right.
song had to be written in Canada, but that was big for us.
Right.
MTV, they didn't have to play any of our Canadian
Right.
artists. Well, they
Right.
were in America doing
Right.
their own thing. They were supporting their own, and that makes sense to me. But that's what I loved about because a lot of the artists were a lot of popular artists from all around the world, but we still had very popular artists too that we were trying to promote and get out there. Yeah. So I loved that about Much. Yeah.
And if you could crack a Canadian act on MTV, that was special.
Oh man, was it ever?
How is this? They don't have to play it, so they are.
Aren't you still surprised today that the Tragically Hip could never crack it down there?
They had their one thing on the SNL, which was
that's right,
great.
with Dan Aykroyd. But that band was the biggest Canadian band going, and they couldn't even.
Did you see the doc? Did you watch the doc?
I watched it, man.
Right?
It's so good.
They talk about like, we started in the US, we had to start again.
Yes.
That is deflating. 100%.
You can sell out arenas in your own country, but you can't even sell a bar down there.
It's the opposite problem you got.
So, is that right? We can't do anything here.
Right.
We're playing all these big shows in the UK. And
O2 Arena?
Well, it's not an arena. We play the O2 Academies.
Oh, right.
Which are they're like the 2,000-3,000 seater ones. But like we played festivals that are 10,000 people and stuff. We're opening for Korn of all bands.
No way.
Korn and Dream
Theater.
Theater.
back on the road?
You opened for Sheepdogs for their whole tour in the UK.
Sheepdogs.
We did their opening slot for the EU stuff, and like that's what I mean.
That's
They're playing,
awesome, man.
And again, it's not like we're like that big over there, but we're big enough that here we should be able to do okay. And it's so hard that we can't even barely sell the horseshoe.
I gotta listen to your stuff, man.
I feel so stupid. I didn't even bring I should have brought a CD.
You don't have a CD?
You know what I'm gonna do?
Well, no, I'm gonna Google it or YouTube it or.
What I'll do is
I'll
take one of the records out of the displays in the hallway there.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Well, can we play something now? Can I hear? Or
absolutely, if we have time,
or after this, or
I'd love to show you something.
Yeah. And I do feel all that rumbling now.
Yeah, you see, we were talking about it.
But you don't hear that. You don't hear anything.
You don't hear that, but you
right there, it's going, right?
Holy
that's the
man,
trains coming by?
That's the GO train, or it's them digging the subway.
Holy man, that's a vibration.
That's a floating floor. See that?
Yeah.
But you don't hear it.
So you won't hear that on the cast. Yeah.
So that was just all the pizza.
Wow, that is really loud at Joseph's. Oh, sorry.
All those mushrooms in the gut. Oh no, it's coming out. He's gonna blow. Where's the restroom?
Yeah, right.
A couple of doors away. I wanted to ask you, when you were doing the Much, were you on with Strombo at that time?
So I had started before Strombo came. Strombo was doing The Edge at CFNY still, broadcasting out of the Eaton Center there on Yonge.
I remember that well.
See him, walk in there. And then he came over. I think someone was leaving the New Music.
Oh, I see.
The New Music was the staple music show. Started in the late 70s, even before MTV.
Oh, wow.
Jeannie Becker and J.D. Roberts started the New Music on City TV.
Right.
Wow.
So I don't know who the host was at the time, but that host was leaving. They were filling that position, and George just seemed like the right fit with the producers, and of course with all of us who fell in love with George.
Right.
So then George came in and he knocked it out of the park, and the guy's been on a crusade ever since.
But you guys were colleagues at the time.
We were, we were,
That's
for years until George finally decided, he wanted to do something more on his own and went to CBC to do the Strombo Hour, and. But I love that about George. Like, stays somewhere for a while, gives it his all, does everything he can to make it get to this level, and then on to the next.
Right.
I love that about George. He's got so much on the go right now, doing Apple Music in LA. But that guy knows his music.
He knows
everything about everything.
Yeah,
he knows something about.
I was on his
everything.
hockey team for about 5 years here when we played hockey together in Toronto, and he's great.
He knows something about everything.
He knows so much. Yeah. It's amazing.
He's an educator, man.
Yeah.
He teaches. Yeah, he's a great guy, great friend.
Yeah.
He just had me on his podcast.
Oh,
we
really?
were chatting about the good old days.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, George is one of a kind, that guy.
No way.
Special guy.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's
so
crazy.
Lots of love for George.
So you're on CHFI now, like, are you like still thinking like, okay, what could happen after this? Like, are you still
I'm still thinking I do love TV. My first love is TV. My wife is TV, my mistress is radio.
Okay.
No, I got that line from Jeff Ament, Pearl Jam.
Okay.
Because he was in a band called Pearl Jam and a side project called Three Fish.
Oh, I never.
Do you know Three Fish? Great music, beautiful music.
Really?
So when I interviewed Three Fish, and I asked about Pearl Jam, that's the line he gave me. Well, Pearl Jam is my wife, and my mistress is Three Fish.
Wow.
So, but listen. I started in television. I won that contest in TV all those years ago, and I got a special place in my heart. There's something special about live TV,
right?
Yeah,
and you're in live radio too. But
and you're getting a taste of it now as you're through the BT stuff.
Yes. So we'll see where that goes, Joe.
Man,
yeah.
well,
that's crazy. I had one more.
Yo, please.
Yeah, yeah.
I just wanted. I mean, we talked a little earlier about it. I just want to hear a little bit about some of these rock star interviews that you had. I mean, you've again, my idols you've interviewed, but like, what are some of your favorites?
It's kind of cool when you're interviewing the people that you've listened to for years.
Yeah.
And even actors, like even when I was with ET, I would watch John Travolta on Welcome Back, Kotter. I would watch Tom Hanks on Bosom Buddies. All these shows that were airing in the '80s when you guys, you weren't around yet.
I know these shows though.
So their careers have grown, and now they're Academy Award winners.
Yeah.
And now I knew them when they were first starting, and it's cool to get to talk to somebody like that
100%.
who you've known about your whole life, really.
Sure.
You're as nervous as all hell because now they're like
Right.
they're like the A-lister of all A-listers when it comes to Clooney and Tom Hanks and John Travolta. And then artists like Pearl Jam or Green Day or whoever it is you're interviewing, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Justin Timberlake, whoever it is.
Sure, yeah.
But I respect every single one of them. They're making people happy. They're creating. They're doing something they love. So I never said no to an interview. I wanted to talk to everybody.
Of course.
Find
Are
out
you
more
prepping
about them.
before that? Like,
you're
are
always
you-
prepping.
you're
It was
doing
like
the-
homework, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So
You got to do your own homework.
You understand everything.
Every little thing. You wanted to know everything about them that
Right.
you could.
So what
That was my
questions-
approach back then.
Right.
Yeah.
I would study days in advance for
that's
my
amazing.
for my first interviews, weeks sometimes.
Sure, yeah.
You want to know just in case something comes up, you know what they're
Exactly.
talking about. Now the interviews would be short.
Sure.
It's
You got to get the most out of it.
you got to get
that
the most
time.
out of it though.
See, with us, so with something like this, like we tend to kind of say, okay, what can we do to get the interviewer talking or the guest talking, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like with what you're doing, you're almost saying, okay, well, here's the narrative I want to capture.
Sure.
How do I do
yes,
it, right?
Yeah.
And that's cool. I love that.
But same sort of thing. You have an agenda. You got to talk about
course.
this. You got to talk about this. Of course, if they're coming in, there's a new music video, then a tour. So you
Right.
got to get all that
gotta
stuff.
get
But you
that.
want to get personal too.
Right.
What got you into it in the first place? Who
Right.
inspired you back in the day? Like
Exactly.
all this interesting stuff that music fans want to hear the
Sure.
answers to. Yeah.
Did you
And
have
then
little cards that you were looking at when you did that?
I had this trick. Who used to do it? One of the VJs. The original VJs used to write the questions and put them on the back of the CD.
So
I
smart.
gained that trick. So I
Look
would
at this
show,
beautiful
here's the
CD,
CD
everybody.
for sale now. Question 2 says,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Brilliant.
great.
but nobody ever knew. I think was it Michael Williams
That's
or
smart.
it was either Michael Williams or Christopher Ward that did that.
How do you do that with digital downloads now? You
Yeah.
can't do
Can't
that.
do-
Oh,
Yeah, print out poster. Yeah.
But and I kept all those CDs with all my questions on
Oh,
the back.
wow.
When I started ET, I handed them out because they were so impressed. Oh, this is how it was done.
Wow.
And then I think my wife made me get rid of all the
No
other
way.
ones.
Yeah.
So I have a few left.
Yeah.
I-
And
you would,
memories.
like, handwrite
the memories.
them on the back,
I
or
would
you-
handwrite all
Oh,
my
is that
questions.
right?
Handwrite them.
That's cool.
Well, let's show one right now.
Yeah, we gotta send me.
There's one right
There
there.
it is.
I don't know who that is, but there's one. There's one right there. Yeah.
I love
Joe,
this.
you're a magician. How
I
you
know,
doing?
it's-
that?
floating midair
my
here.
penmanship wasn't the best, but at least I could understand what
Right.
I was writing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's you
That's
don't
it,
want
yeah.
anyone else to see that and know what it is.
Who came up from behind me one time and saw my questions and ripped them off? Was either John Mayer
No way.
or was it
But he ripped the questions off your.
Pharrell Williams?
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
They ripped
It was
them off
either-
the CD.
They ripped them off. He goes, "You don't need these."
Oh my God.
And it was young. I was in the early days. It's like, no, I need those.
I need those.
I can
No,
see-
it's all up here.
I can
But,
see Mayer
yeah.
doing that.
Someone
I could
did
see
it.
being
Yeah,
Mayer.
yeah. Oh,
He'd
yeah.
be like, "No, I'm going to show you."
Wow.
Put 'em on
Someone
his
called
toes.
me out. Someone called me out.
Did
One
they
of,
really?
one of those two guys.
That's
the
so
punks.
great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
But in a negative way, or like they were.
No,
like,
they were
mad about-
joking around.
Okay,
They go, Rick, this is a good conversation. You don't
You don't
need
need this.
The biggest compliment was when Jay-Z came in and he brought his buddy Kanye.
Right.
And then
Oh,
their
wow.
friend Rihanna, because they were breaking
Oh my
Rihanna.
God.
So all three of them came in. It was one of my last big shows at Much in 2005.
That would have been huge.
It was a
crowd.
crowd was everywhere.
Yeah.
They got to ask questions. Everyone's asking questions. This big party.
Wow.
But the biggest compliment that I got from anyone at the end was Jay-Z saying, "Listen, I had a great time," because we were wrapping up. It was just like having a conversation.
Right.
We love being here. Thanks for having us. And that's Jay-Z.
Yeah,
like,
that's wild.
Wow.
but
Yeah,
that's
good time.
and that's what all this is about.
This is
it's
it.
all conversation, chatting, finding out about each other, and
Yeah.
learning things and chat. It's the best. It's so basic and simple.
Yeah.
But it's so important.
Yeah.
To
It's
humankind.
funny
I love that.
knowing now, like just how much you really did interview like these massive stars. I think if I knew that before the podcast, I'd be a little more nervous about our interview.
Thank God I didn't tell
I
you
would have
that.
been a little more.
separation.
All right,
I
this
would
is
have been a bit more nervous.
Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
Wow.
I would have been like,
Bacon.
he's going to judge all of these questions.
Yeah, right.
I don't have anything.
No,
How
man,
we doing?
No, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's just we're just chatting. We're just talking.
Yeah.
It's conversation.
And that's what we wanted
That's
with
the word.
this.
Yeah.
We wanted
Just
it to be so
casual,
casual.
fun. That's why we have pizza.
That's right.
That's why we had pizza first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
need a
Break the-
nap now
I-
before CHFI. Holy,
I know. Well,
where's the couch?
Yeah, all right. There's one over there.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
right there.
Well, hey, this has been so awesome.
It's been
so
great,
much.
guys. Thanks for having me on. It's been
absolutely.
great. I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as for the name of the podcast, I don't know if you'll ever make it, but
I don't know. I'm still trying.
keep trying, man.
Keep trying, man. I'm not giving up. I want to do it all.
All right, I believe in
And
you.
you too, okay?
Look out for
And you too,
Campanelli
yeah.
Yeah.
on
Look about-
Instagram.
One of these days.
You might know him at one point. Yeah.
And if you need me for anything,
Yeah, hire.
I'm for hire.
He plays drums, I hear.
I do. Better than I can sing.
Yeah, that's it. Amazing. Thank you so much, man.
you.
Pleasure,
man.
guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure, guys.